Nighthawk Gold in the news recently. Nighthawk trades as NHK on the TSX. Some drilling at Colomac indicates a widening deposit to depth. May span several kilometers of strike length. With me now, the CEO, Michael Byron. Hey, Dr. Mike, appreciate the time and update as always. Good little piece of news here. Why don't you run through the importance of it?
Yeah, this was a short release, and that means just 7 holes. But I think these 7 holes, sort of punch above their weight class. Our last news release, if we look back to December 3rd, what we were building there was a story that as you get deeper into the system, because the areas that we drilled and reported back in December 3rd were the deepest areas that we have drilled to date, and that's zone 1.5 in the northern part of zone 2, we were seeing almost a 2 to 3 time increase in the width of the mineralized part of the sill at depth. And that, if you can imagine that, that's your deposit's actually growing exponentially as you're going deeper, and that can really change the dynamics of what you're trying to accomplish. So obviously, when we defined this thing, we said, well, it looks like it's 500 meters in strike, and it's up to 155 meters at depth, and we've been down to 800 meters. So then you're thinking, well, what's the rest of the 7 kilometers of sill look like? Is the whole thing widening to depth? Is that the morphology of this intrusion? So the other area that we had started to drill deeper was located, almost 3 kilometers or so to the south of this area, called Zone 3.5, and that's what was reported today. And sure enough, what we found is that the mineralized portion of the sill, which is the eastern side of the sill, or the top of the sill, as we call it, shows a distinct widening to depth. Very similar to what we're seeing at zone 1.5 and 2. So what we're looking at now is, if this is the case, then we could be staring at a system that for 3.5 plus kilometers is widening to depth, and 2 to 3 times. So obviously, before we can confirm and state that unequivocally, we need to do more work. But the early suggestions are that this is the morphology of the Colomac intrusion, and the near surface width of the sill was defined by historical drilling, so we have that really well defined. So as we're exploring deeper, we're seeing that those widths are increasing. So this is pretty exciting for us as you're trying to build out a resource.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk about the next work to be done here.
Next work is, we've got more news to come out. We'll probably have about 2 or 3, maybe 4 more news releases on drill data and exploration results and metallurgical results. So we're going to try to pump these out, every 2 weeks if I can, to get all the news out there before we kick off the 2020 program, which we expect to be in early March. We'll start drilling again, and if all things fall as we would like to see it, we could see ourselves being as busy as last year, perhaps even more, i.e. maybe more than 40,000 meters, maybe 40 to 50,000 meters. So, our ambitions are to continue to expand our program as we go, because we'll need to put those meters into the system to grow the resource. So it's going to be a busy year, 2020.
Okay, appreciate that update. Dr. Michael Byron, Nighthawk Gold, NHK on the TSX. Sure look forward to checking back in when they have some more news to report.